Hey, what's up, guys? How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to another episode of Isaac Inspires. This is the part two to the first video we did where we talked about mastering your fretboard, all right, on your bass. So if you haven't seen that video, click the link up here. Essentially, we're just talking about how important it is in order to master your fretboard, to know where all your notes are, to know where all your scales can lead, so that you can play fluidly and flawlessly on your bass. So this is the part two. This is the practicals. This is the examples. This is all the stuff that you guys really actually want to know. So stay tuned and we're going to get right into it. All right. Welcome back, guys. So we're going to get right into it. We're just going to get straight into it. Now, quick disclaimer before we start. My bass is tuned to A. All right. I have a 5-string bass. So my lowest string is A. So it goes A, D, G, C, F for me. Some people with a 5-string are tuned to B. Most people are actually. So there's this, B, E, A, D, G, right? So don't really pay attention to how my bass sounds, more so the application and what I'm showing you. Because the cool thing is about bass is what you do here, you can do here. It's flawless, right? You can do the same. It's all patterns, essentially. So we're going to start with the major scale. All right. Now, the major scale, if you don't know the major scale, there are plenty of videos out there. I may do a video just for the beginners in terms of how to play your major scale and what goes into it. But I'm going to just quickly, graze over it. If you don't know it or you want to know it in detail, there are definitely YouTube videos out there. So I definitely would suggest learning that. But there are 10,000, there's a lot of ways to play your major scale, but there's two major ways that will help us today. So the traditional way, which is, all right, so that's the traditional way. And then we have the straight down the scale, straight down the string. So we're gonna play the major scale on one string going straight down. So. All right, so both of those are gonna be really useful for us today for what we're gonna learn. So I'm playing in C, right? But this looks like D or C sharp to some of you. So I'm playing in C. Now, I wanna know all the C's that I have on the top part of my bass, right? So again, I'm here. Actually, you know what, to make it easier, let's go here. So this will be C for everybody that's tuned to B or E or whatever it is. So I'm here. Now, I know I have this C, and I'm gonna go up my major scale and find my other C, right? Cool, so I have two C's right now. Now, I know there definitely has to be other C's on this bass, so I'm gonna go down my major scale now. Right, and there's my other C. So I've just found 3 C's on my bass, right? Now, there has to be more. There just can't be 3 C's, right? So now we're gonna utilize going down the string. Only, we're not gonna start on the string where the C that we found was, right? We're gonna start on any other string. So we know we have a C on the 1st string, a C on the 3rd string, and a C on the 5th string, right? So right now we haven't found the C on the 2nd string and the C on the 4th string. So let's start with the 2nd string, right? Now, most people know that with the major scale, the note that is on the string that is not C is the 5. So in this case, it's G, right? So we're gonna start with G, and we're just gonna play the major scale going down the string. All right, so G, full step to A, full step to B, half step to C. All right, so here's another C on our bass. So now we have 4 C's. We found this one, this one, this one, and this one. So how do we find the last one? With the major scale. All right, so what you'll find is that on every string, there's at least one of whatever note that you're looking for. Now, where it is what we have to figure out, right? Now, I explained in the last video, but these double dots here are the same thing as the open note, right? So if I play an open D and I play the double dot, it's the same note. just an octave higher. So essentially what that means for us is that this is a reset. So whatever we play up to the double dot is gonna look the exact same after the double dot, right? So C for us is the first note on the first fret of the last string, right? So if after the double dot, if the double dot is the same as the open note, then the first fret after the double dot is gonna be the same note, right? So then we're gonna use our major scale to find the other one. And then we're gonna go, and that's how we're gonna find all of our notes. So the trick is whatever you have on the front end, you're gonna mirror on the back end, all right? So now, the major scale is a great exercise to figure out our notes, okay? So when we get to the note that doesn't have C, what we're gonna do is we're gonna continue down the line, and then we're gonna find the C and then come back with the major scale, okay? All right, so this is the first exercise. I just want to demonstrate before I explain it. So we're at C. We're gonna play the C major scale. All right, and then we're gonna come to the 5 of our scale, wherever that scale ends. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So R5 is here. And then we're gonna play the rest of the major scale. Instead of coming up here, we're gonna play it going down that same string. And then we're gonna come back the traditional way. All right, that makes sense? So traditional, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're gonna go up the same string and then come back traditional. All right, so that works, like I said, with the bass, because everything on the bass applies everywhere. So we can do it in C, we can do it in F, we can do it in B flat, we can do it everywhere. So that's gonna be the exercise that we're gonna use in order to find every note on the top half of our bass. So we're starting here. This is also a great dexterity workout, by the way. 5. All right, so we can also do the same thing going backwards, right? So if we were here, now we're at the 5. So instead of going up to the 1, we're gonna go down to the 1. So traditional, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going down, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then back to the traditional way of playing it. All right, so let's start here, and then we'll kind of work through all the different examples that we have. So we're on the last string here, first fret. So So that's an example. That's a way we can do it. Now, the cool thing about that is not only does it teach you the traditional way of playing, but it also teaches you kind of how you can slide to notes, right? Because sometimes, you know, you'll want to do something like you're here, and then you want to do something down here. So I'm on the 5, and I know if I go down the strings, my other C is here. When I get to the 5, right? So not only is it beneficial in terms of just knowing where everything is, but it also helps you with your slide technique as well. So it's kind of like a win-win scenario. So we have that as an exercise you can use. Another exercise you can use is, and these are really the main two, but another exercise that you can use is you can kind of use like a memory game type exercise, and I'll explain what I mean here in a second. So we know that this is C, right? And we know that D, let's say, is a whole step away from C, right? So if we have C, we have a whole step, and this is D, right? So what you can use is you can say for every C that you have, you're gonna play the whole step or the D that comes after that C. So what I mean is, all right. And so what you're doing essentially is you're quizzing your mind, right? You're helping your mind, okay, if I'm ever at this point, I know this is a whole step away. Or, for example, if we're at C and we want to know where E is, traditionally, it's diagonally to the next string, right? Now you're gonna get to a string here where you can't do that, right? So this is where you have to know your major scale sliding down. So there's your 3. So now you know where your 3 is. Now, like I said, traditionally, 3 is diagonally away from C, right? So if we go down and we have our 3 here, or our E, if this is E, then that means diagonally from E must be C, all right? So when I say memory game, what I mean is patterns. You're memorizing patterns, all right? So if I know C is here and I know F is the string that's right next to C, right? Say that I am on, say I'm on this C, right? And I immediately want to know where's the F, right? I know that my F is right next to my C, okay? Now, in more practical ways, you're playing a song, you're in C, and then you want your F, right? But you want your F up here. Okay, cool. So now I need to know, okay, where's my C at? Now, if you've memorized it, you know C's right here. So you don't have to think twice because you know where that C is, you immediately know where that F is. All right, so this is the secret to fretboard knowledge, is knowing where everything is in relation to the next thing. So if this is C, I know the string next to it is F. I know I know the note diagonal to my C is E. I know this right here is my 5th. So it doesn't matter what C I'm at, I'm automatically going to know where my 5th is, right? Now, this gets kind of interesting when you're talking about different ways to play your major scale, all right? Because in that way, there's little secrets and shortcuts you can use. So this is C, right? Normally when we play C, we have our D, that's a whole step down, right? But there's also a D up here, right? Most people don't play their major scale like this, right? That's kind of an abnormal way to play your major scale. But if you do know all these tricks and secrets, you can play your major scale anyway. And in doing so, you can also find anywhere you want to go at any point in time. All right, so this is C, right? The reason I know that I have a D here is because I know that this is my 4, this is F. And if I go down the major scale on the same string, I have F, E, and D. All right, so I started here, this was C, but now I know, okay, if this is F, if I go back on this is E, okay, this is D. So I can play, right? In the same way, once I get to my F, normally I'd play the F here if I'm going down the same major scale. But since I know that my C, my other C is here, I can come to this F here, so, right? And vice versa. So the real important thing, I'm not gonna go through every example, but the real important thing for us to know is our traditional major scale and our major scale going down the string. Because then you can combine these two in order to form a regimen or a pattern or a practice that helps you to memorize all your possible notes at any given point in time. All right, so if anything I said sounded too fast, please feel free to go back, watch the video. You can slow the video down if you want to as well. And hopefully this helps you guys, and this helps you guys to understand how to manipulate your fretboard even more, so that you can get the notes that you want to need. So Appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you as always for checking and supporting and liking the channel. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that. It's a community. You know, that's the way I've kind of designed this, is just for everyone to be able to talk to each other and to relate to each other, to share, you know, tips and stuff like that to help us all grow and to learn, you know, just like I'm learning too. So I appreciate you guys again. Love you guys. And I will see you guys in the next one.